Good morning, church, and happy Father's Day. You may have seen in the last few days that the Bishops' Conference had set an agenda to study the Eucharist with a subheading of when and how one should prepare oneself to receive Holy Communion. One of the items for discussion was the abortion issue, with a possible call to all Catholic politicians requesting that they refrain from taking communion if their position on abortion rights differs from the position of our Church, who disagreed with the Supreme Court decision of 1973. Some saw this as an attempt by some bishops to put Catholic President Biden in their crosshairs if they could get the conference to go along with their agenda. However, the apostolic delegate, the Pope's emissary, made a call for unity and said that the purpose of Eucharist is to unite people and not to use it as a wedge to separate. He also reminded the bishops that they do not have the power to set the agenda for the entire Catholic Church, and that any proposal they recommend would have to be sent to Rome for approval, an approval they most likely would not receive. Now the Bishops' Conference has backtracked and removed the section on norms relating to Canons 915 and 916 of the Church's canon law. So the issue may now be moot. But it is worth studying the issue. I did my master's thesis on the abortion issue when the Supreme Court was in the process of making its decision on the legalization of abortion. I thought that I could marshal all the facts and come up with a clear-cut answer to the issue. However, the more I studied the issue, the more problematic it became. I found that different Catholic theologians came down on both sides of the issue, even using the same facts for their scholarly decisions. While I personally did not agree with the decision of the Supreme Court, I also realized that their decision became the law of the land. I also realized that there are 4,300 different religions in the United States, not to mention the non-religious. And I cannot simply demand that all citizens have to abide by Catholic legislation. We Catholics say that we have a body and a soul. The question is, when did the merging of soul and body unite in the womb to form a human being? Thomas Aquinas, regarded by the Church as our greatest philosopher theologian, was asked that question in the 1200s. He said that the unity took place in the 6th month in the womb for boys and a little later for girls. His reasoning for the girls being later was that he saw girls as inferior to boys, and so the process of maturation took longer. While we may smile at his reasoning in our sophisticated 21st century, we can see that there was no sure answer as to when the union of body and soul took place. Today, our Church says that the fusion of body and soul takes place at the moment of conception. It's an easy marker for deciding on the humanity of the fertilized ovum, but it does leave us with some problems. When I was the director of our SVD retreat house in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, the bishop booked our retreat center for all priests in Mississippi to come and listen to an expert from the Catholic University of Washington, D.C. The university is the only university sponsored by the United States Conference of Bishops, and for which we take up an annual collection. He came to speak to us priests on the Church's position on conception and abortion. When the expert said that the human soul entered the body at the first moment of conception, I asked him if he could explain to us how the soul is infused at conception in the case of identical twins. Twins are the result of the nucleus of the ovum splitting in two, and thus leading to the creation of twins. But that does not happen until the blastula stage of growth, which occurs at the 8th stage of division. He talked at great length up to the moment of recess for lunch, but he never did answer my question. During the recess, I reminded him privately that he did not answer my question. He admitted to me that he did not know the answer, but then angrily said, "I believe in the church." So, my brothers and sisters, I believe in the church, as I'm sure you do also. But it is good to keep a critical mind when we seek to discern important issues that face our world and to which we as church want to contribute our expertise. In the coming months, it will be interesting to see how the Conference of Bishops step gingerly on the issue of Eucharist and the reception of Holy Communion. God bless you all, and again, Happy Father's Day.